This is the best feeling. A sky full of stars, a new planet waiting across the galaxy, never gets old.
I thought you'd never been off Ord Mantell.
You know that much about me, Captain? It's a rare woman who can meet a man and know his whole life just by talking. When I came back to Ord Mantell, I thought that was the end for me. Thanks for giving me a way off. So, how about that war, huh, Captain? You think the Republic will stop hiding behind the Treaty of Coruscant and admit they want the Empire wiped out? It doesn't sit right negotiating with people who want every man, woman, and kid dead.
You practicing your speech for office?
You trying to tell me you don't think about it? I do. I joined the Peace Brigade when I was 14. I know what a world looks like when the Empire's done with it.
What's that? A bunch of do-gooders?
The Brigade's a relief organization. Go into worlds abandoned by the Treaty of Coruscant, help people displaced by the Empire. I was a kid looking for an adventure. After 2 months, let's just say there are no kids in war zones. So, how'd you end up out here, Captain? Was there ever a time you wanted something more normal? A husband? Kids? Someone to take care of you?
I take care of myself. Always have, always will.
I'm not trying to start anything, Captain. Just thinking about a guy I met in the brigade. A merc. Fought for the Republic for 20 years. I was 16, fresh off the ship. This guy gave me my first blaster.
I thought you country boys grow up shooting.
I mean, sure, I'd handled a hunting rifle, but never anything aimed at people. This guy told me, gun's just a tool. You use it to destroy, or you use it to protect against those who would destroy you.
And you took it to heart.
Made me think different about guns. You can't protect the people you love if you're afraid to get your hands dirty. I brought Torchy home and my parents made me lock her up, told me not to wish away peace. I didn't have her when the Separatists came. Boy, Captain, life with you is almost enough to get me missing the good old days. For Ord Mantell, where Separatists were bad and guns were good, and we could just run in shooting.
I'm not noticing a drop-off in our rate of running in and shooting.
Yeah, we just have to do so much thinking first. Why don't we have more fun on this ship? Back home, when we needed a laugh, we used to run the Rontos in circles, then see if they could charge us without falling over.
Good night, Corso.
Maybe I should go lie down. I never like asking for favors, Captain, but I think maybe we know each other well enough by now. I want to look for my cousin Rona. She's all the family I got left, and I think she should know what happened.
So call her on the comm, what do I care?
I was kind of hoping to introduce the two most influential ladies in my life. I don't know where Rona is now. Rona came with me when I left for the brigade, but she jumped ship at the first port. All she ever wanted was to get off Ord Mantell. I thought maybe we could track her down. You'd like her. She's really the reason I'm here.
I thought you came to chase down Skavik and stayed for the good beer.
Rona was kind of our family rebel. We used to have a blast together. She liked me to run interference, so her father never caught her on dates with off-worlders.
I thought you were all about protecting the poor women folk.
Well, yeah. My uncle would have given her a walloping if he'd known the kind of men she was with. I remember one time, Uncle came looking for Rona while she was on the shuttle pod with some Agamarian pirate. I was about 12. I didn't know how else to distract Uncle, so I started to fight. Got the whole ship confiscated. I never did find out how Rona got out of city jail. I found someone who knows my cousin Rona. He's a street doctor in Coruscant, kind of a shady character, but that's who Rona always drifted to. I think he really can get us to her, but...
I know a scam when I hear one.
Rona loved to walk that line. Every time Uncle caught her stealing, it would turn out she was sneaking cash to some mom with 2 kids on the street. She's the reason I know breaking the law's got nothing to do with being a good man. Let's just go to Coruscant and hear a friend out. Go ahead and ask for cash for the job if you want. I want to find Rona.
Ah, Captain and Corso Riggs. It's good to meet such generous souls in a place like this. I'm Dr. Hope. I like to think of myself as a messenger of mercy, caring for the poor, forsaken citizens of the underlevels.
We don't need the pitch. Just tell us what you know about Rona.
I'd be happy to, but as a doctor, I must put the needs of my patients first.
Is that your real name?
The citizens of Lower Coruscant call me that for the ray of hope I bring to their cramped and miserable lives.
I'm sure.
Right, so I've got some, life-saving medications that need delivering. Unfortunately, Coruscant security only cares about the rich. They don't let anyone distribute, medications in the underlevels at all.
Tell me what I can do.
Well, I don't want to get you, or me, into trouble with the law. The only way to get my meds down without getting stopped is to carry them inside a living body.
What?
They'll be safely stored in surgical plastic and implanted under the skin. My, nurse can remove them on the other end.
You still think this guy is on the up and up?
No. Doesn't mean he doesn't know Rona. This was always Rona's kind of thing, breaking the law to do good under the nose of a corrupt authority. It's worth it if I get to see her.
I'll just need you to come with me a moment, Master Riggs. Perfect. These vials should stay sealed for at least 12 hours, no problem. I'll tell my contact, nurse, to expect you.
When we get back, Rona better be waiting.
You bring goods? Doctors say 2 people. Look out. Now time. Cut out spice.
Did she say spice?
What happened to... Oh, I'll do anything for Rona. She couldn't possibly be involved in anything bad.
This has nothing to do with Rona. They lied. You used us. If you weren't a lady, you'd... I gotta go have a word with your boss.
I not speak basic. You say take spice away? Good spice. I give good money. Big, how you say, cut?
We're not asking for a bigger cut, you idiot.
How big a cut are we talking?
Here, I give good share.
I don't believe you. You know what? Never mind. Let's just see if that blasted Deveronian knows anything about Rona.
Did the delivery go well?
Yeah, we did your dirty work, you fraud. Now where's my cousin?
You keep us waiting. I've got a few things to implant in you.
Whoa, back off there, soldier. You're looking for Rona Riggs, right? Well, she's the one who thought you two would be right for the job. Don't shoot the messenger.
Just like the old days, eh, cuz? Of course, I'm a little more big time now than Ma and Pa ever would have allowed.
Your cousin sure doesn't look like a farm girl anymore, Corso.
Rona, what happened to you? What are you doing here?
I'm the underboss for the Black Suns on this part of Coruscant. Not bad, considering 5 years ago I was shoveling Ronto dung.
The Black Suns. You're a gang member?
Gang leader. You think I should write home? Make Ma and Pa proud?
Sorry to be the one to tell you, but Corso's the only family you've got.
They're all dead, Rona. Separatists got them.
Ha! After all that grousing about the big dangerous galaxy? Guess that showed them.
How can you say that? Don't you care? We obviously came just in time. Come on, Rona. We're getting you out of here.
Poor, chivalrous little Corso. Don't you get it? I don't need to be rescued. I chose this life.
What percentage did they give you? I'll double it if you take your business to me.
Captain, I'm not really comfortable making that offer.
Double? Done. Just tell me where to send the profits.
Well, I guess that's one way to stay in touch. Not, what I would have preferred. It was good to see you again, Rona. Nothing worse than coming to the realization that your parents were right. Can't stop thinking about Rona. My folks always said she'd come to no good in the big city. And there she is, a stooge for some spice smugglers.
Would you rather she'd been murdered with the rest of them?
Is that the choice? Death or hawking spice? I wanted something better for Rona. It's not like I didn't see it coming. Dr. Hope. I just didn't want to think that was really who Rona'd fallen in with. That's what I get for trying to see the best in folks.
The only thing that keeps people in check is the fear of getting caught. We'll all cheat and lie and kill given the chance.
All the more reason to resist. I don't plan to stop giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. If I trust the wrong guy, maybe I get hurt. But if I'm too scared to help someone who really needs it, who knows how many people will suffer? I gotta ask you, Captain, why are you doing this? Before Dodonna, you've had no ties to the Republic. There's gotta be places you could make credits without taking Imperial fire. So why do we keep heading straight into the war zones?
More cash, and more fun, if you're under live fire.
I got the feeling it was maybe more than that. When I came home from the brigade with Torchy, my old man told me something that's always stuck with me. Minute you fire a weapon, someone's getting hurt. It's your responsibility to make sure the good you do with it outweighs that harm.
When a firefight goes down, who's got time to do that much thinking?
I try to. Before Skavik took Torchy, I made sure she only fired against Separatists. Figured everyone I took down was one less family murdered. Sergeant Boom Boom, I like to use against the Empire. Buy a Republic world another day of peace. Makes pulling the trigger that much more meaningful, you know? Captain, I just got some real good news. Somebody attempted to access Vidu's old bank accounts from Tatooine.
Why are we excited? Was he trying to buy me a gift or something?
It means somebody's still alive. Vidu's crew was like a family to me. First one after mine were killed. I didn't think any of them survived Skavik and Serena. I don't know what they'd be doing on Tatooine.
I'm guessing you see a trip to Tatooine in our future.
That'd be a real favor, Captain. The only one with access to the accounts was our slicer. Twi'lek kid. Called himself Jettison. Good guy. Makes me wonder what got him so desperate he tried to take a loan from a dead man's accounts. We should go as soon as we can.
Where'd the attempt come from? Anchorhead?
From what I can tell, the access attempt came from some village, way off the beaten path. No name or anything. Really makes me wonder what he's doing out there.
Do you have a minute? We're looking for a stranger in your village.
A Twi'lek kid called Jettison. I got a call from him, placed from here.
No strangers here. They don't like them, if you're smart. Don't be one.
What's wrong? What's going on behind that shield?
Busy. Busy time. It's feast day, you know. Tastes just like Bantha.
We're not getting anything out of her.
Don't go past the shield. I warned you!
Set 2 more fires. These strangers will be fresh meat tonight.
You're never gonna hurt anyone again.
Kill them! Save the organs!
Corso. Is that you? How did you... I didn't think I would ever... Oh, I heard they took in strangers who were new to the planet. And they locked me up and... Were they gonna eat me?
You're a gift of flesh from the desert. They were meant to eat you.
Oh, I think I'm gonna... Oh.
Don't tease him, Captain. You're okay, Jed. But how did you end up here? I thought Serena got everyone.
I had the sec cameras wired to my comm. I saw it all go down. Started running and I didn't stop until I hit Tatooine. I was trying to start over. After what Serena did, I've been too scared to go in anyone's systems. It was kind of a game for me, working for Vidu. It never really hit home to me that we were committing crimes. That people could die.
You work for a man like Vidu. You're not in it for the retirement package.
I never thought about it. The HoloNet just always came easy to me, you know? And now everyone I know's dead. And I'm in this forsaken wasteland, and... Corso, is there anything...
Don't worry, Jet. We'll take care of you. Won't we, Captain?
You want my help, you gotta make it worthwhile.
I told the Captain you're the best slicer I've seen. It'd be like working for Vito again, but safer.
I got nowhere else. If you trust her, I'm not gonna argue.
I'll tell you where to go. We've got a kind of base called Port Nowhere. You think about it at all? That craziness back on Tatooine? What makes a person desperate enough to start seeing his fellow men as meat?
I've got a pretty thick skin, but the idea of being lunch meat still gives me the willies.
Seeing those guys makes me wonder if our grasp on sanity is a lot less firm than we think. Anyway, I heard from Jettison. He's recovering. Took a job in Anchorhead, testing HoloNet security. Glad to know he's okay, you know? One thing to point at and say, we did some good here.
Are you forgetting the hundreds of other people we've saved?
Sure. There's always something more going on. Money or politics or something. When I was growing up, you know, good was good and bad was bad. Now, it's all these shades of gray, and even those aren't always true. You ever think about getting away from all this, Captain? The war, the huts, all of it? Ord's at peace now. It'd be a simpler life.
Aren't you the one who said we can't turn our backs on the war?
Nah, that was some other kid you picked up on Ord Mantell. After everything we've done, guess I'm just feeling like hiding my head in the sand. Beauty always had something to say about that. Gets you shot in the end. Better to face it head on. I hope I've been some help to you, Captain. Because you've sure taught me a lot. I mean, I'd done some fighting, but you taught me to go for the jugular. No mercy. That's what wins it.
You got a long way to go before you're as good as me.
Believe me, I know. I'm just glad for the chance to learn from the best. Captain, no good way to say this without sounding like bragging. Got a comm call from Ord Mantell, governor's office. They've been keeping tabs on what we're doing, and... Captain, they're calling me a Republic hero. Ord Mantell's most storied native son.
Ouch. Doesn't speak well of the rest of their people.
Good to know I won't develop a swelled head with you around. They've got a job for us. Turns out the Separatists were Imperial-backed. When they were defeated, the Empire attacked outright. Ord drove them off, but they left behind some kind of EMP pulsar.
What's that do?
It's causing every droid on the planet to malfunction. Apparently, the thing is in orbit somewhere. They haven't been able to get a lock on the signal. But it's affected every droid, comlink, and terminal on the planet. Complete economic shutdown.
Is this a job, or do they think they can get me just by saying something nice about you?
I can probably swing a payment, if that's what you're asking. They say it's been months and they're just realizing the extent of the damage. The Empire used the same thing on Balmorra. The Empire's got disarm codes stored there, but Ord has no troops with the gear or training to go after them.
They should be like us. Learn as they go.
Does that mean you'll do it? The codes were stored in a cave with a bunch of other Imperial weapons. Should be a quick snatch and grab, as far as should takes us.
Magar! Magar! Answer me! We've been waiting for your all clear. Are you there? Blasted Imperials?
Who's that? Why would she be calling an Imperial soldier?
If they killed you, Magar, I've already sworn to hunt down every puss-ridden Emperor lover on this planet.
Hello?
You're not my husband. Why are you answering his comm?
We just fought a group of Imperial soldiers. One of them was wearing this comm.
Imperial? Oh, for the love of... Magar, you're too clever for your own good, you old rascal. I'm Dan Lazine, proud Balmoran and member of the Resistance against the Empire. My husband Magar stole an Imperial uniform. He and some friends were trying to get weapons to help us retake our town.
Stole a uniform? They weren't really Imperials?
Free Balmorans, everyone. Did anyone survive?
They died in the line of duty.
I'm really sorry, ma'am. I wish there were better words for it. Is there any way we can make it up to you?
You're gonna think I'm a cold-hearted old battle axe, but I've lost my sons, my parents. Death's no stranger here. What we really need are those guns. Magar risked his life to get them. I hate to think he died for nothing.
Can Ord Mantell wait on these codes long enough for a side trip?
Captain, these men died because of our mistake.
Bring me the guns, and I'll pay fair price for the lot of them. We're in hiding behind Imperial lines. Magar's comms got the coordinates. So, you're the ones who killed my Magar. You look younger in person. It can't have been easy to get these guns here. Thank you. Now what do I owe you?
Danla, darling, I just heard the terrible news. It's a tough time for a woman to be alone out here. But don't worry. I won't let anyone take advantage of that.
I'm sorry. I was talking with a lady.
I'm Witat. This is my town, and those are my guns you're returning from my men you killed.
Our debt is to the lady.
Aren't you too sweet? But this is my army, not Dan Lazine's. Whatever she's offering for those munitions, I'll double it.
I'm guessing you've got a strong opinion about this.
There's no amount of money that would make me give this brute a blaster. Ma'am, you still interested in buying these weapons?
Thank you, son. You're a good boy. I hope your mama appreciates that. Now, you move on out. We don't need you anymore.
What? This is my town!
You're no better than the Imperials. Go see if they'll have you. We'll take back Balmora on our own.
I knew your whole only in it for the money thing was just a front. Thank you, Captain. I couldn't live with myself if we'd left Dan Lazine with that pig.
I lost a lot of money on that deal. I'll be expecting you to make it up to me.
Right. I get it. You've got a reputation to maintain. Governor's office on Ord Mantell says thanks, by the way. With the disarm codes, they finally got real peace there. It's hard to say if something like that is worth a life. Look, Captain, I try not to get sentimental around you, but hear me out. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. You're my family, as much or more than the one the Separatists took. As long as I live, I'll be here to serve you, and your children after if I last so long.
You want me to have your babies? We better get practicing.
You shut that door, Captain. Don't tease me now.
Would have saved me a bundle. Well, enjoy your freedom. I saved you the big bunk. You tell me what a Wookiee might want to buy. I could arrange a run there. I can't imagine Wookiees make good slaves. Is that what you owe me? I got no hold on you. What was it like? Guns don't get hurt if you sell them. Why's that? Wouldn't take much convincing. I've met some Trandoshans. You could make a nice pair of gloves from one. Definitely. No question about it. I've never met a Wookiee who was ashamed of being strong. You spent 100 years being miserable, pal. You're overdue for a little serenity. My fighting style pretty much comes down to, I really don't like pain. I think of you as family too, Bodar. Thanks for letting me stay on with your crew, Captain. I plan to be a very generous queen to all my friends. Let's hope your planet is more valuable than your father's lost riches. That was barely enough to keep me flying. You already spent everything? Remind me to keep you away from my royal treasury. Every captain needs a good first mate. Corso doesn't know what it takes to run a starship. But I do. Considering the light years you've been racking up, I suggest a hyperdrive overhaul and a sublight engine tune-up. Which do you want first? We're always in a hurry. See if you can squeeze some extra thrust from the engines. Consider it done. I'll be indispensable before you know it. Bet you were surprised to see I can hold my own in a fight. I'm pretty good with a blaster. My father taught me to shoot when I was 4 years old. Was Nock that desperate for muscle? He thought an armed toddler was more reliable than his own people. Father wanted to be self-sufficient as early as possible. Said I'd need it to survive. He was right. I still remember the day he told me he was going to sleep for a while. Said I was on my own. Nock was in that carbonite for a decade. Weren't you still counting birthdays on one hand? I was 11. Made my first solo hyperspace jump and flew to Dantooine. Father had a hideout there. Talk about your one bantha planets. For a few years, Dantooine's population was doubled thanks to me and Father frozen in carbonite. You talk a lot about Nock, but you've never mentioned your mother. She died when I was young. I don't remember her. Looking back, I should have been miserable. But it was just a big adventure. Speaking of which, we're overdue for some more excitement. What do you say we get back to our latest caper? Sometimes I can't believe you actually got back my crown. Do you know how many spacers died looking for it? Don't take this the wrong way, but when we first met, I thought you'd end up like all the others. I never thought you had anything less than total confidence in me. I learned pretty fast not to underestimate you. What I'm really saying is, thanks. I wouldn't be where I am without you. I never leave an unhappy customer. Except for Rogan the Butcher. He doesn't count. You can't please everyone. Anyway, didn't mean to slow us down. I'm sure we have plenty to do. I think I figured out why we get along so well, Captain. We're both restless people. It's how we survive. Trouble loves us, and we just keep on moving. Eventually, Trouble gets tired of following and gives up. There's always more trouble where that came from. Exactly. Isn't it wonderful? There wasn't nearly enough trouble growing up on Dantooine. After being a crime lord's daughter, sitting around got dull real quick. I had a big library of holo recordings from my father, but I could only watch them so many times. Never figured Nock for the sentimental type. He left you a bunch of holos dispensing his life's wisdom? If by wisdom you mean teaching me how to become a criminal, then yes. He was a good teacher, very detail-oriented. By the time I was 14, I'd had enough. I buried Father's carbonite chamber someplace safe and hit the hyperlanes with a new identity. Those were good times. I met Juran and Adila, got mixed up with Beryl Thorne, lived a life of crime. I'm sure Nock was proud of your accomplishments. Actually, he was disappointed I didn't have my own criminal empire. I was having too much fun on my own. I'm starting to enjoy these chats, but I'm feeling restless. Let's go find some trouble. I envy you, Captain. You'll always be free to do as you please. That all changes for me, once I'm a queen. Dubrillion is getting along fine without you. Do what makes you happy. Ruling a planet has its perks. I should at least give it a try. I've studied records about the Drayan dynasty. They started from humble beginnings, distinguished themselves as war heroes, officially anyway. In reality, they backstabbed their way to power just like every other ruler. Some were better at it than others. Why didn't Nock make his own play for the throne? He was king of the backstab. He knew recovering the crown was essential to establishing legitimate rule. It's not enough to conquer a world, you have to hold it too. Father had his failings, but he inspired loyalty. Whenever he defeated a rival gangster, he always freed the enemy slaves. He gave them a choice. Join him or take their chances elsewhere. No recriminations for anyone who left. The rest became family. Interesting way to recruit new talent. How many slaves actually signed on? Those people had a lot of anger issues. Most were excited to have a job that let them express it. There was this one little Twi'lek girl who joined us. Best thief I ever met. Got into all sorts of trouble together. We were like sisters, but when Father's organization collapsed, we got separated. I never found out what happened to her. Never too late to find her. If she's as good a thief as you say, she might come in handy. That was a long time ago. Sometimes it's better to leave the past alone. You're really bringing out my chatty side today. That usually means I need to get some exercise. Let's find something more exciting to do than stand around. I'm reviewing the holovids of Dubrillion. Beautiful planet. Amazing oceans and forests. One of these days I'll have to see it in person. How can you be sure the planet's even worth ruling? For all you know, it smells like a wet bantha. I hire Bothan spies to pose as tourists and record everything for me. Even the smells. Father warned me to stay away from that planet before he went into hibernation. The spaceport has genetic scanners keyed to the Drayan bloodline. The King's doing everything in his power to keep me away. I'm not taking over without inside help. Until then, I have the holovids. If I'm going to take over Dubrillion, I can't keep looking for allies in the same old places. The scum of the galaxy isn't as useful when you're stealing a throne. I need a better class of accomplices. You can't steal anything big without some corrupt officials on your payroll. There are some interesting rumors out of Dubrillion. Turns out the aristocracy is unhappy with the king. Some nobles are secretly rebelling. Hating the king is one thing. Putting you on the throne is something else. The point is, the planet's politics are ripe for change. All I have to do is personify that. Dubrillion is turning into another Alderaan. A new queen could prevent that, assuming she had the aristocracy's support. But that means taking this game to a new level. You up for that? I've dealt with Hutts. A bunch of prancing nobles doesn't scare me. What if we have to prance with them? Do you even own prancing shoes? I've put out feelers to some key Dubrillion nobles. When one of them bites, be ready to pounce. In the meantime, we have plenty of other business to keep us occupied. My search for allies in Dubrillion's aristocracy has been interesting. Got an offer from a lesser baron. What a piece of work. Guy must think I'm an idiot. Took 2 minutes to verify he's a spy for the king. He was baiting me into a trap. Know what I like to do with traps? Turn them against whoever set them. Just one more thing we have in common. I sent the spy a phony meeting request from Nar Shaddaa. He's sending friends to help me. They're in for a surprise. Couple of Hutts owe me a favor. They promised to record the whole thing. I'll send the king a copy. Never thought I'd say this, but you're my favorite partner in crime. You make beating the odds look easy, Captain. The secret is always fighting people who are dumber than me. That appears to be most of the galaxy. Never realized you were a genius. I've definitely learned a few dirty tricks from watching you work. Think I might have found a few of my own. We'll find out at our next death-defying showdown. I can't wait. You probably think I'm chasing Dubrillion's throne to get rich, don't you? Your motives are your business. I don't judge. All my father cared about was revenge. That isn't me. I've seen what bad leadership does to a place. Alderaan, Nar Shaddaa, even Coruscant. They all suffer because of who's in power. I'm not looking to plunder Dubrillion. I want to make it better. Run their society the right way. I knew that mercenary attitude was a lie. You're a bleeding heart do-gooder. Admit it. Don't be ridiculous. I'm talking about political survival. Every successful leader has the same strength. They're perceived as generous by their subjects. Give the people just enough of what they want, and they'll leave you alone. That's something the King of Dubrillion doesn't understand. You can't give people what they want if you can't afford it. Maybe Dubrillion isn't as wealthy as you think. It's wealthy enough to support an aristocracy. Of course, they need to get paid off, too. I can make this work. It's all about negotiation, and I'm good at that. I'm just thinking out loud now. We should get back to business. The longer I spend here, the more it feels like home. I'm even starting to appreciate Corso. Must be coming down or something. Promise me you'll visit often when I'm Queen of Dubrillion. Aren't you afraid being friends with a common freighter captain will tarnish your reputation? First, there's nothing common about you. Second, the whole point of being queen is that I get to do whatever I want. It'd be nice to sneak away with you for the occasional break. Go someplace dangerous. Steal something expensive. Mock the bad guys. When you think about it, being queen of a planet provides the perfect alibi. We should take advantage of that. Guess who found a potential accomplice in the Dubrillion aristocracy? Feast your eyes on this hollow-embossed, genuine flimsiplast invitation. See that fancy Aurebesh lettering? Hand-drawn. In ink. Classy. Count Merritt Reneld requests the favor of your presence at a discreet location in the Galactic Senate Tower on Coruscant at a time of your choosing. Coruscant? Why not Dubrillion? Coruscant is neutral ground. Meeting at the Senate Tower? That's a gesture of respect. Count Reneld is one of the most popular nobles on Dubrillion. He's also secretly organizing a rebellion against the king. His invitation is addressed to Risha Drayan, royal heir to the Drayan dynasty. He's taking me very seriously.
I didn't think you were broadcasting your true identity.
I had no choice. Risha from Nar Shaddaa doesn't carry the same weight as Risha the future queen. I'm contacting him by holo to arrange our meeting. Wanted you here to help me get a read on him. Opening a channel. Whoa.
This is a tremendous moment, your royal heiress. I grew up hearing tales of the Drayan dynasty, the great battles your ancestors fought. I never believed I'd meet a member of that proud bloodline in person. You have my deepest sympathies for your family's exile.
We don't have all day. Stop sucking up and get to the point.
You must be the starship captain who recovered the crown of Debrillion. My world is in your debt.
The king wants that crown, and my head. He won't be happy if he finds out we're talking.
The man has lost all reason. He must be removed from power, but in a way that spares our world a bloody civil war. I believe the common people and aristocracy alike would embrace the Drayan dynasty heir, especially if she wears the crown of Debrillion.
It wasn't that long ago everyone wanted Risha's ancestor off the throne. What's changed?
The early Drayan dynasty rulers are still highly regarded. In historical retrospect, only the last one remains unpopular. It will not be enough to dethrone the king. He must be replaced by someone the people view as one of their own. Right now, you are an outsider. The only way to change that is to marry someone from the existing aristocracy.
Get married? To who?
Well, the only available suitor is... Great stars, this is awkward. I am offering myself in marriage to you.
This guy doesn't beat around the bantha. How do you want to play this?
You could have at least sent flowers, Count.
I understand my proposal is abrupt, but I wished to make my intentions clear and not waste your valuable time. I certainly don't expect an immediate response. All I ask is that you consider this for the good of Debrillion.
That'll be easier to do once we've met in person. I'm on my way to Coruscant. See you there, Count. Well, that wasn't awkward at all.
The Count was a lot nicer than most of the people we deal with.
Hard to be sure over the holo, but I'm comfortable enough to meet him in person. Under the circumstances, I should probably take this meeting alone. Be back soon, Captain. Never talked to a complete stranger for that long before. Count Reneld gives to charities, builds orphanages, creates wildlife preserves, and those are just his hobbies. You ever consider we've been wasting our lives?
Somebody's got a crush on Count Nice Guy.
He is nice, but I'm not rushing into anything. I told the Count I needed time to think about his proposal. That'll give me a chance to run a deep background check. If this guy is as good as he seems, he just might help me overthrow the king without getting married. Count Reneld is a man of his word. He sends me daily updates about his rebellion's progress. Incredibly sweet, beautifully written updates. I knew taking Debrillion's throne would be a challenge, but this is getting complicated. Merritt's every bit the man he appears to be. Even the dirt I've dug up on him turned out clean.
I can't wait to hear what skeletons are rattling around his royal closet.
He stole the crown jewels when he was 5, got a slap on the wrist, and he's been clean ever since. Seriously. Nothing about this guy triggers warning bells. When it comes to husbands, I could do a lot worse. I'll stop bothering you. I needed to talk, and you're the only person who understands me.
I'm always here if you need me.
I'm sure there's trouble somewhere with our name on it. What do you say we go take all its credits? I was prepared for almost anything if it meant becoming queen. Foiling assassination attempts, fighting wars, bunking on this ship for years. Just kidding. Marrying the Count was never part of the plan. Can I really do that?
Your only job is to become queen. If marrying that nerf herder gets you closer to the throne, do it.
He'll make a popular king. Maybe too popular. I don't want to look bad standing next to him. Ugh. I hadn't even thought about producing heirs. Not that he wouldn't be a great father. This conversation's officially given me a headache. Let's go do something outrageous. Things on Dubrillion have taken a turn. The king's put a death mark on Count Renald's head. When the citizens heard that, they rebelled. The king imposed martial law to stop the rioting. But that got the aristocracy riled up. The whole planet's going to war.
Sounds like the Count's plan to avoid bloodshed by marrying you just went up in flames.
We were never going to unseat the king without a fight. I just hoped we'd pick the time and place. Needless to say, the Count has his hands full just staying alive. But even with all that's happened, he still wants to marry me. I can't keep putting him off. Any advice how I should play this?
Forget about the politics for a second. Do you love this guy or not?
I barely know him. This isn't about love. I need to figure out what's best for my long-term plans. Oh, perfect. Time's up. That's him calling on the Hollow. All right. Let's do this. Merritt, I'm glad you're safe. From what I hear, the fighting got worse after you escaped.
I cannot spare Dubrillion from war, but perhaps we can still create a better future together. I realize forging a true relationship takes time, and our marriage won't be consummated for some time, but I am hopeful. My proposal stands, dear Risha. Will you marry me?
Say yes. Hurry before you lose your nerve.
Yes, I'll marry you. We'll make it official the old-fashioned way. Have your people bring me a written contract to sign. But let's not make it easy for the king to kill us. Until the war's over, we shouldn't meet in person. Agreed?
I will continue to send you updates as I'm able. Dubrillion will be free. Farewell, my lovely wife. May the stars watch over you.
Isn't he adorable?
That has to be the least romantic wedding I've ever seen in my life.
Maybe. But it's a perfect foundation for running a kingdom. I should probably do something to celebrate. Want to go steal something really expensive? I've been getting reports on the war for Dubrillion. It's dragging into a stalemate. Nobody has a clear advantage yet. I want to get more involved with the war effort, but my allies tell me the best thing I can be is a symbol.
What are you supposed to represent?
I don't know. Some nonsense about New Hope. The minute I open my mouth and start talking politics, I risk losing support. I can't afford that right now. Guess I'm stuck on the sidelines until it's over. At least I have company. I've been thinking about the future a lot lately, and I had a funny realization. Every scenario I see, you're in it. I've never let myself get close to anyone. Not even my friends from the old days. Count Renald may be my husband, but you're my family.
Does that make me part of your noble bloodline? Will I have to learn that crazy Dubrillion accent?
Don't worry about it. My first edict as queen will be to teach everyone on the planet how to speak proper basic. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I promise to always be there. Not just for you, but everyone you care about. That's as mushy as I'm getting. Back to finding trouble.
I will not be with you long. Do not begin to think I am yours. This is a convenient arrangement, that is all.
Doesn't mean we can't chat while you're here, right? Share a few secrets, shed a few tears?
I have no clan. What more do you need to know? I will travel with you as long as our interests coincide. Your crew has welcomed me. I did not expect that.
What's the usual protocol for Mandalorians turning against the Empire and joining a shiftless spacer's crew?
I would call no part of that usual. It was not a coincidence I came to you on Balmora. Your name is famous among bounty hunters for the price both Skavik and Rogan put on you. I wanted to see who was worth so many credits.
I'm a little insulted the price isn't higher. Is that why you haven't taken a shot at me?
You gave me food and bed. I would not betray you. I would not give this up for a bounty. You are not what I expected, Captain. I've seen you in battle. I know you can fight. But I've been killing Jedi and Republic troopers since my childhood, and you are nothing like them.
What, do Mandalorian kids not know tag?
Even the youngest Mandalorian child would rather prove her mettle in a real fight than play games for points. My father would not have thought you an honorable opponent. But I have seen your victories. I believe you are a worthy foe.
I'm not your enemy, Akavi. I thought we were friends.
It was Mena's praise. A warrior can only challenge herself against enemies of honor and courage. There is no honor in attacking those beneath you. A worthy foe is a gift. In defeating them, we hone ourselves to the best we can be and bring honor to the name Mandalorian. Or so I was taught. I did not expect our travels to linger so long, Captain. I kept thinking I would leave at the next port, but I appreciate the trust you have shown me. And more often than not, I admire your decisions. You can be far more ruthless than your reputation suggests.
Guess where I picked that up?
I did not expect us to find so much common ground. Are there things you regret, Captain? It is not an emotion I was raised to feel. We act, and we face the consequences with courage. But it is far easier to discipline my body than my mind.
Why waste time worrying about the last galaxy-shattering mistake when a worse one's coming tomorrow?
There is no worse failure than abandoning my clan. I should have been with my clan when the Empire came for them. I'd left to join another clan, to follow a lover. At the moment they were betrayed, I knew nothing.
I never imagined you with a lover.
Am I not a woman grown? Do you think Mandalorians have no gift for the gentler arts? His name was Zodic Lone. When we learned the Empire had betrayed my clan, I told Zodic to rally his people to defend them. The cowards buried their ears. They would not come to the aid of a fellow clan. I left that day.
I thought that story would end with, so I tore them limb from limb and used their corpses as jet fuel.
Their cowardice did not kill my clan. Let them live with their guilt. It is the Empire that must pay. I have a name.
Akavi?
Not me. I know whose order Moff Tyrek signed. To execute my clan, it was sent by Imperial Major Stan Wu. I've heard of him. He is a liaison between the Empire and hired bounty hunters. I will kill him.
You can't just walk up to an Imperial Major and blast him. Do you have an actual plan?
I'll exploit the Major's position and turn it against him. The Major is hiring the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. I will go there and present myself as one of them. Once I secure a meeting with Major Stan Wu, all that's left is to pull the trigger.
Take your time and enjoy. I recommend aiming for the kneecaps first.
There's no honor in torture. But he will live long enough to know why his life is ending. If we do not see each other again, retursia me.
You made it back alive. I assume the Imperial wasn't so lucky?
That sniveling worm was no more the architect of my clan's destruction than Moff Tyrek was. I left him alive, wallowing in his disgrace. Major Stan Wu ordered the execution because of lies told to him by another Mandalorian, Tayari Rook. The true crime rests with him.
What would make a fellow Mandalorian want to sell out your clan?
I will ask the traitor his reasons before I kill him. Rook presented Major Stan Wu with evidence that Clan Spar reneged on a contract. My people were hired to destroy transport ships full of young Jedi, but the Empire's target survived. If Clan Spar had accepted that contract, the Jedi would be dead. Rook framed us.
You already know what to do. Find this Rook and stick a blaster in his face.
I've already begun my hunt for Teari Rook. I will settle his debt to Clan Spar. Why am I here, Captain? I've been clear about my reason for joining you, but I never understood what you want from me. Am I a hired gun, or is this something more?
It may have started that way, but now you're part of my crew. Your family.
We've a proverb. Ali Arisha Taldin. Family is more than bloodline, but it refers to adoption by a clan, not... Why did you assemble this crew? It is too momentous a decision to make on impulse. Do your loyalties truly lie with the Republic?
The Republic is a big, self-righteous pool of money, and I've got swimming privileges.
The Republic worships its own weakness. They waste their warriors defending those who cannot care for themselves. They call for loyalty to a government of strangers instead of a family and clan. You could do better. Tell me, Captain, how do you choose your path in life? What guides you?
Mostly, I follow the credits. And more is always better.
I thought only droids were ruled by numbers. I adhere to the SWTOR, the core of what it means to be Mandalorian, a sacred law giving us direction and purpose. Education and armor, self-defense, our tribe, our language, our leader, all help us survive. We must educate our children as Mandalorians, obey the commands of Mandalore, speak Mandoa, and defend our clans.
Did you leave out something? I didn't hear anything about serving the Empire and wiping out the Republic.
Every action a Mandalorian takes is because of the SWTOR. It tells us why we fight and whom to kill. My travels with you have been worthwhile, Captain. Few Mandalorians experience Republic space as I have. Fewer still see the Jedi up close without having to kill them.
Don't hold back on my account. As long as nobody traces it back to this ship, kill whomever you like.
I have no reason to fight Jedi while in your company. If that changes, I appreciate your gesture of consent. Jedi are the most respected warriors in the galaxy. And yet, they have never truly defeated the Mandalorians. No matter how punishing our defeats by them, we always return. One day the Jedi will bow down before us. There is a method to your madness. When we met, I thought your fighting was driven by impulse, with no strategy or plan. But I began to see a pattern in the chaos.
You sound like you want to learn.
I have already made a study of you, Captain. I have thought of incorporating some of your tricks into my own repertoire. It would certainly earn me the edge of surprise should I be among Mandalorians again. I have learned more about the scum who betrayed my clan. Teari Rook claims he has earned the title Mandalorian. But I heard nothing of him passing the trials of strength and courage required to join a clan.
What does it take to be adopted as a Mandalorian?
It is up to each clan. We do not care much for central authority. But no one would accept a new brother who had not shown his worth. I have called myself Mandalorian since I left my mother's side at age 3 to begin training. It is not easy to put that behind me.
Most kids that age are mastering the toilet, not the blaster.
Most kids are not Mandalorian. We start training for war when our bodies and minds are still elastic, to make what we learn a part of ourselves. I had a jetpack and blaster before I ever had a friend. You may be my first. I do not presume to question your choice of crewmates, but I am curious. Why allow yourself to be surrounded by the weak? Only the Wookiee displays any strength of character. He understands honor. The rest are petty criminals.
Petty criminals are easier to manage. When they start complaining, just throw some credits at them.
And what happens when they demand more than you're willing to pay? One thing a Mandalorian never has to question is a clanmate's honor. I could always count on the strength of my fellow warriors. I always sleep lightly aboard your ship. Tayari Rook claims to lead his own clan. He destroyed my clan with his slander and then dares to raise up his mishmash of slavers and pirates and call them Clan Rook. And no one has challenged them.
Haven't the other Mandalorian clans caught wind of this? Shouldn't they be angry too?
Rook is careful. Anyone who could speak against him is already dead or dishonored. This isn't even the worst of it. The man I was with when my people fell, his clan lost all honor after I left. They joined Clan Rook. My old lover dishonors the name Mandalorian. That coward dies with the rest of Rook's filth.
First he turned his back on you. Then he joined up with the man who betrayed you. I say he deserves whatever he gets.
I've often wondered if you listened when I told you about my people. Now I know. Rook's clan is on Hutta, bowing and scraping for the cartel. The scum have no discipline. Destroying their camp will be easy. When I'm finished, it will be as if Clan Rook never existed. I leave for Hutta immediately.
You look, well, not exactly happy. Less angry than usual.
It's over. The filth who destroyed my clan and dishonored its name is dead.
Hope you made it as painful as possible.
The only feeling I have is certainty. My enemy deserved his fate. Before he died, Rook confessed his crime. He destroyed my clan because the lie gained him a favorable contract with the Empire. He killed my people for profit, nothing more. The galaxy is no poorer without him.
Tell me you got something out of this besides revenge.
Rook was an even worse businessman than Mandalorian. His so-called clan lived in squalor. I could not have avenged my people without the resources and opportunities you've provided. I will repay that debt, Captain. For the first time in months, I've allowed myself to think about the future. Someday this war must end. What will you do when the Sith Empire rules the galaxy? Will you transfer your loyalties to them? What if your profession is outlawed?
I'll stay in business. If the Republic can't put a slave collar on me, neither can the Empire.
How much experience do you have with the Empire's slave trade? It's highly advanced. The only constant in life is change. A warrior prepares for whatever comes. Your talent for survival is impressive, Captain. But luck has its limits. I have no clan, and the man who destroyed it is dead. Without clan or foe, I am no longer a Mandalorian. But I am still a warrior. And great ones don't allow old age to take them. To die in battle, dragging many foes into the void, that is a good ending. What do you think, Captain?
I was planning to live forever. It's not as flashy as your idea, but it works for me.
I should have known better than to expect a serious answer from you. A warrior's end requires a worthy foe. We should keep fighting until we find ours. Tomorrow we die. Today someone else will. Ibatur Jotne Turashad Kiramor. I was wrong.
I've never heard you admit that.
When I joined your crew, I told you I would never serve another's interests again. I could not trust anyone's purpose to suit my own. I was wrong. The longer I stay, the more loyalty I feel. There is nothing in my lifetime that could make me leave your side.
Have I said thank you yet? If not, just remind me, and I will, twice a day, like atmospheric suppositories. Most women aren't so forgive and forget. I, probably shouldn't keep reminding you not to trust me.
Tell me everything you know about Rogan the Butcher.
Right to business, huh? He's a strange guy, Rogan. Got his own kind of honor. I think he gets off on the whole underworld anti-hero image. Freedom to thumb his nose at any authority on any planet. You'd like him, if he wasn't trying to kill you.
He's really gone deep cover? Didn't think the Empire gave their agents much freedom.
I never tried to get under the covers with the guy, but if the gangster thing's just an act, he plays it really well. When we land planetside, you get a room somewhere, right? You don't expect us to keep sleeping in these closets. Never mind. So, what was it like, Nocdrayan? I'd been asking Risha, but she gets all weird and prickly about it. She actually walked out when I said that it'd make a better story if you turned out to be Nocdrayan's long-lost daughter or something. Even Rogan was impressed when he heard you dug up the old man's treasures.
Are you trying to butter me up?
I just want to know everything about you. How does someone become the most famous spacer in the galaxy anyway? Did you always know this was what you wanted to do? I like to imagine your parents programmed janitorial droids, and this was your way out of the family business.
Can't ask for better, kid. Complete strangers give you credits to have the time of your life.
I wish my old Jedi Master could meet you. He'd have a harder time selling the whole deprivation is the key to happiness thing. I guess you've been wondering how someone like me ever ended up with the Jedi, huh?
It's the duty of the Jedi to train anyone Force-sensitive, so they don't fall to the dark side.
Boy, you've picked up the party line. I was always kind of the odd one out in my family, and believe me, it was not a small family. When they kicked me out, I went to Nar Shaddaa and met a Jedi who said all the weird stuff that happens to me is a connection to the Force.
Don't sell yourself short. You do plenty of weird stuff all on your own.
And you know, that was an issue. The Jedi are all about recruiting kids too young to know better, so there it was. Me and all these serene little kids. You've never known real rage until you've been lectured on controlling your emotions by a 4-year-old in a robe.
You said you were kicked out?
I maybe overstated that. They don't really throw people out, you know. Call of the dark side and all that. But it was clear I'd never make the cut. Anything I could do with the Force was basically random. Never even figured out how to work my dead master's lightsaber. So, have I been looking any more convincing with the lightsaber? I mean, it's about as much use to me in a fight as a glow-in-the-dark belt buckle. But I figure if I wave it around, maybe it'll scare people off.
You think you can get me one of those?
I'll keep my eye out. This was the only lightsaber we had, you know, in the whole Enclave. I wasn't in the Jedi Academy proper. Never made it that far. My master ran a recruitment center on Nar Shaddaa. I don't think he had the guts to actually bring me out in public.
I thought all Jedi trained at the Academy.
There's always a few who slip through the cracks. I need you to teach me to fight dirty. You'd think I'd be good at that, you know, but when it gets beyond cowering in doorways, I'm pretty much all point and shoot. Show me how you work your magic.
I usually aim below the belt.
I hear that works really well on humans. They should make every Jedi kid spend time in a war zone. When you see what real Sith are like, it makes my blood run cold. And don't make any fish jokes there. I'm serious. It makes you see why the Jedi make such a big deal about not giving in to the dark side.
Thinking about going back?
I am. But right now, I'm in your crew, and I can't ask for anything better. But Master Lauren was right. The road to the dark side starts with things we all feel. Jealousy, greed. They're all the seeds of it. I'd rather spend the rest of my life meditating on a cold rock than turn into that. You know, you're the kind of gal you know when she's mad, and you know when you've made her laugh. Master Lauren was just ice. You had no idea if he even knew you were in the room.
If I could, I'd teach you what to do with that lightsaber.
Oh, Captain. If you were my master, I might have practiced. Or at least not released the Kowakian monkey lizards into your dressing room. Maybe that was a bad plan. Captain, I just want to say thank you. I could never have imagined you would put up with me for this long. When I first came on board with you, I thought it was going to be a few weeks at most before you left me on some isolated moon.
Keep me laughing and you've got a bunk on this ship forever.
Have you heard this one? There once was a Moncal from Dak. He wore a jetpack on his back. He liked to shoot blasters and fly even faster. He was a Mando Cal attack. No? Well, I'll come up with a better one. You're like my family, Captain. No one else has ever given me the kind of trust and respect I've had here. I'll never leave you.